So you're looking to buy a DTG printer. So here are some things to consider before you pull the trigger. So a few months ago, I bought my first DTG printer, a used DTG printer. Not really knowing too much about them, only that you can make some real good money with minimal effort. I was definitely wrong on that. The first mistake I made was not doing my research. What I did was go online, look for the cheapest printer I could find in my area, went out and got it. Yes, it was used, it did have some issues, but me naively thinking I could just fix it, no problem. Since I bought the printer, I've learned a lot about these DTGs because I've actually had to get my hands dirty and change a lot of equipment in the printer. So here's some things to consider when buying a DTG printer, especially a used one. First, the branded model. Are you buying a printer with a respected brand behind it? Or is it one of these fly-by-night overseas no-name brands? If it's the latter, you definitely want to stay away from those printers, because what I've seen in different reviews is that they go bad really quickly. The print heads clog, you need new print heads. The print head is almost the same as buying a new printer. The inks are really expensive. There's no customer support, and the list goes on and on. You're going to want to stay with a name brand, something like a Epson, a Brother, even a Ricoh. Next is dependability. Are these printers built to last, and what type of hardware do they have inside to make sure that you have minimal issues? Does a printer have automatic ink circulation? Does it have a wet capping system? Do you need to run the printer every day in order for the print heads not to clog? Also, how easy is maintenance? Is it easy to get to the dampers to change those, because those go out pretty quick? Is it easy to remove and maintain the print head? Is the ink waste tank easily accessible for disposal? Filters, what type and how many filters does a printer have? Also, how often do you need to change those filters? The next one can be a small issue or a big issue depending on how much space you have, and that is the footprint. A lot of these printers, when you look at them online, they look pretty small, but when you're up close and personal, they can get pretty big. So how much space do you have? Another issue that I hardly hear anybody talking about is climate. These printers need to be at a certain humidity and a certain temperature. It all depends on the printer, some more than others, but you don't want this printer in a cold warehouse somewhere or in a hot warehouse, depending on where you are in the country. So some printers can acclimate more than others, but there are some that need to be to the T of what the manual specifies, because if not, you're gonna have issues with printing, most notably ink clogging. Next is price of ink per shirt. Some printers use more ink than others. While some printers can use $1 of ink per shirt, some other ones can go as much as $3 to $4 per shirt. So you're gonna wanna make sure you get a printer that you're comfortable with the price point of the ink per shirt. This next one falls into the same category as a price of ink per shirt, and that is, what ink system does the printer use? Does it use the cartridge system or the bulk ink system? Also, how much is the ink per cartridge or per liter or gallon? Cartridge-based systems are cleaner to use, but cost a little bit more than the bulk ink systems. The next one would be loading and pallet size. How big is the size of the pallet? If you want to change the pallet, how easy is it to change the pallet? Also, loading. How easy is it to load? Do you have to take the pallet off and tuck the garment under the pallet and reload it? Or does it have a hoop system? Or does it have nothing at all and you just lay your t-shirt flat on the pallet? The next one, which is a big one, is how many print heads does a printer have? The newer printers have more print heads. While this sounds good in theory, that gives more chances for the print heads to clog and mess up your print, and more money down the line in expenses and maintenance. This next one falls back into maintenance. How expensive and readily available are the parts for your printer? Since I've had my printer for a few months, I've changed so much on it and it's still not working correctly. I've changed the print head, the dampers, the ink capping system, all the lines, a few of the ink nozzles, and a few things I can't remember. The most expensive thing was the print head, which ran me 900 bucks just for one print head. So those are some things that are often overlooked when buying a DTG printer, because I know, for me at least, when I was looking at my DTG printer, the only thing I looked at was how it printed. I went online, typed up the model number of the DTG printer, saw it printing and said, oh, that looks good, let's get it. Not aware of the different issues I would run into when buying a used DTG printer. So I hope this video helped you out. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already. Check out the links in my description for the best print supplies on sale right now from Amazon. Thanks for watching. Check you on the next one.